Right, this is one of the reasons we're taking off all the plastics. As you can see, you get full of rubbish off the road. So we strip these off, give them a good clean out. And also, the common problem with sprinters and crafters, which is down the side where the plastic side trims are, the clips, they're not properly sealed. So you end up your van from the inside full of water. Water getting in from the outside into your insulation. It's never good in a camper. You end up with condensation, mould and an unlivable condition. So we're gonna get on with this, strip off the back step, carry on stripping off plastics, and then we'll be right back with you. Down the side of the van now, as you can see, behind them plastics is absolutely filthy, absolutely disgusting. As you can see, some of the clips have come out, some of them have stayed in. This is one of the main reasons for sprinters or crafters rusting out, because these don't seal properly. The other reason is these holes here. These holes here lead right through to the inside of the van, and they're normally just covered by this awful little piece of vinyl, and that's meant to stay weatherproof for years and years and years, and obviously it doesn't last even 4 years. I've seen it coming off on 2-year-old vans. It's absolutely terrible design. We've got all the plastics off on this side. Got a bit of rust on that door to sort out. Bit of rust on the bonnet to sort out. Bonnet's going black Raptor. Side plastics to take off down this side. And Mr. Edward's taking off the back door. How dirty is it, Cole?
Like a cow field.
Colin's mopping the cow field. So give these a wipe down, as much as the crap off as possible, and then it's on to sanding. Prep work.
If you want this to look clean, you'll have to turn it to low res.
So, we've washed down the van prior to sanding. We took all the side plastics off, cleaned all underneath them, removed any remaining clips that stayed in the body and not come out with the plastics. All the rubbers that are underneath the plastics we've removed. We've removed most of the front end, and now it's time to start prepping the paintwork and bodywork for rush treatment, repriming, and then to be sprayed in Raptor bed liner. Now we've got all the sanding done, it's time to blow everything down, panel wipe everything down and mask off ready for paint, and then we'll be Raptor lining some parts of the van. Everything's been sanded down with 120 grit, any rust spots treated, and then before the Raptor goes on, any bare metal pieces will be primed with an acid etch primer. So stay tuned. So the product we're using to spray the van is called Raptor. It's by Upol. And there's some idiot behind the camera pulling funny faces. It's 2-part 2K coating that is scratch resistant. It's literally scratch proof. It's really hard. It's textured when you spray it on. You spray it on using an underlining gun. So we're going to mix them up now. Always wear gloves when using Raptor. It's a pain to get off your skin. When you're spraying it, you want to be wearing a long sleeve top. So as I said, it's a pain to get off your skin and it hurts to remove it. And there's people throwing, masking at me. You want to get an half decent mask as well when spraying it. So otherwise you end up high as a kite. And wear some safety goggles. So to mix it, dead easy. Give the Raptor a shake first. This is your actual paint part of the Raptor. Open the lid up. Now, you used to just fill it up to that line there. They now kindly provide you with an actual jug to fill from. So, take our hardener. and I'll harden her up if I can get it. There we go. Right, so we want 237 ml, which is 8 fluid ounces. There we go. It could have provided a bigger jug really. That's a bit precarious. Get the lid back on that so that doesn't get knocked over and spilled. Pour this in. Oh, and it's going everywhere. Right. Get the lid back on it. Wipe up your mess. Hopefully you won't make a mess when you're doing it, unlike me. And now you want to shake this vigorously for 2 minutes. Make sure you turn the bottle upside down because the Raptor settles to the bottom. Then the first thing that comes out your gun is pure Raptor without any hardener. We got ours from a company called Buzzweld on the internet. We've got the fiberglass additive in it. It's a very, very short strand fiberglass, which makes the coating incredibly tough. We're also using a variable underbody gun, so you can change the texture. Not only can you change the texture using your PSI on your compressor and your distance from your panel that you're painting, you can also adjust it with the tip on the gun. We're going to do a couple of spray tests on a piece of cardboard first so we get the desired texture, and then lock the gun in from there and start spraying. Right, so we want to set our air pressure to between, what does it say on the tin, 40 to 60 psi. So I haven't got an air pressure gauge at my gun, so we're going to set it at the compressor. So back that off. So I reckon about yeah, that's about 50 psi. So it's about 60 at the gun, so it should be about 60 at the compressor, so it should be about 50 at the gun. Got our mixed Raptor here. So we get our gun. Screw these on. It's just like any standard underbody gun. There we go. Now for this part I'm going to do it without a mask so you can hear me. So let's screw this nozzle right the way in, see what result we get first. So, I think, to be honest, what do you reckon, Cole, that texture? What do you reckon to that?
It's looking quite nice then.
Yeah? So, I think we'll just go straight for that texture. So, Colin, you want to follow me around to the other side with the camera. So one of the inherent issues with the Sprinter and Crafter is these holes that lead straight through. Now they're normally covered by a piece of self-adhesive vinyl. That's what comes from the factory, and over 2 years at least this wears off the stickiness and they'll peel off and allow water inside your van. Also these holes here, so they lead straight through to the inside where you're going to be insulating. So these all need to be covered right along, otherwise water gets in, soaks your insulation and also rots your sills out from the inside. Normally people are using more self-adhesive vinyl but sticking it on with Sikaflex as well. I've got some little plastic pucks I've cut out as I've got no self-adhesive vinyl lying around, and these will just be Sikaflexed over the hole, sealing them. The other one that needs to be sealed is the trim clips. The trim clips, as you can see, have just got this rubber skirt around them, which when that clips in, that's supposed to make a seal. It works to an extent, but the issue is over time water does get behind them. So the easiest way to do this is to clip them all into your trim, put a bit of Sikaflex around them and push your trim back on, making sure it's pushed in properly, and then you shouldn't have any water ingress. So I'm going to get on with this now, get everything sealed up, and the van's going back together. Mr. Edwards reassembling the back doors after they've been raptored. They're looking good. We've got our wings over here, they've been raptored. The new wing and the original wing that wasn't damaged. Bonnet raptored, ready to go on. And the rest of the van all done. Let's take a little walk around and have a look. So front end still needs to go back together, but I think Colin's going to move on to that next. Got a bit of masking to pull off on that door, but as you can see, it's all looking good. Side light markers pulled back through. We've done all the door jambs as well, as they tend to wear, and the bottom of the doors as well, right the way around. So I'll shove you on time lapse and get on with this. So as you see in this video, it's been a pretty long one. To start off, we stripped all the van down. We took most of the front end off, all the plastics off, most of the door seals off, and gave everything a good clean down. Any rough spots we found, we sanded back using 120 grit sandpaper, and then treated it with a product called Hammerite Crust. That will be in a link in the description box below, as will all the products we've used today and where to get them. We then went on, sanded the rest of the van, keyed the paint in preparation for spraying the Raptor on. This, if you don't do this and leave a shiny surface, the Raptor will not adhere. And if you break through the paint that you key into bare metal, you will need to acid etch prime that piece, as Raptor will not stick to bare metal on its own. It has to be acid etch primed. We used U-Pol number 8 acid etch primer for all the acid etch priming we did on the van. Any dints or small imperfections we need to fill, we used a U-Pol filler that had a short strand fiberglass in it. This was because it's waterproof and it's a lot stronger and less prone to cracking as polyester filler. After we'd done all this, sanded everything down, we then went along, blew everything down with an air gun to make sure there was no dust on the surface prior to painting. After this, we then went along with panel wipe and wiped everything down using lint-free rags. The panel wipe we used is called Panel Wipe Pro, and we got that from buzzworld.co.uk. As I said, the links will be in the description below of where to get them. The Panel Wipe Pro was a brilliant product. It's one of the best panel wipes I've ever used. I can highly recommend that. After all this was done, we then went on to mask. We masked everything off and we started applying the Raptor. The Raptor, again, we got from buzzworld.co.uk. The service has been brilliant, it turned up in no time at all. The black Raptor went on brilliantly. It was dead easy to spray. We literally set up the gun, set up our air pressures, figured out what texture we wanted to use, sprayed away, not an issue. The white was a little bit more difficult. It didn't want to spray consistently. There was a lot of overspray with the white as well, but we think we figured out what the issue was later on when we came to touch up a few places with the black. In between each bottle of Raptor, you want to clean your gun through with 2K thinners. Now there's a little O-ring in the gun that makes an air seal that allows the gun to pull the paint up through the bottle. This was affected by the thinners and it had expanded. Once this O-ring was replaced, we had no problems at all. So if you're doing a job with Raptor and cleaning your gun out with 2K thinners between each bottle, or even between colours, and you're stripping your gun down and cleaning it, I'd suggest taking that O-ring off before you clean and just clean that O-ring off with a damp rag, because it does not react well to the 2K thinners. It destroyed the first O-ring. Luckily, we had a box of O-rings lying around and was easily able to replace it. So we got all the white done, all the black done. We then moved on to sealing holes in the van. Now, as I've said in the video, there's a manufacturing flaw in the Mercedes Sprinter and the VW Crafter vans. Behind them plastics just aren't sealed up correctly. Water ingress is imminent. It's gonna happen if you don't seal them up. We used Sikaflex 225 to seal all the holes. It's a lot more heavy duty than the 221. It's a lot thicker, it's harder to work with, but in my opinion it would work better for the task I've used it for instead of the 221. So we sealed up all the holes, all the trim clips, they all got a coating of Sikaflex around them and the trim reapplied. We then reapplied all the plastics, gave everything a bit of a wipe down with damp rags, and it's now being sat in the workshop curing. Raptor liner you cannot get wet for 72 hours after applying it. This is due to the curing process releases vapours if water sits on it, it can't release them vapours and you'll get soft spots in your Raptor coat. It will not harden fully. After that, it then takes another additional 7 days, this is all at 20 degrees Celsius, to cure to its full hardness. The Raptor we used has, as I mentioned previously, a glass additive in it. I incorrectly said what it was in the beginning of the video. It's not a glass strand, it's a glass flake. It doesn't affect the finish on the product at all, but it makes it super hard wearing. The reason we went for this is we've got a big van. It's wide, it's long, it's tall. It's going to be getting taken down country lanes, getting scraped along bushes along the way. This coating will not scratch. It might look like it scratches. Spray a bit of silicone spray on it, polish it off, the scratches disappear. It is absolutely brilliant stuff. The only downside to it is textured. Some people don't like this. I quite like the texture of it, I like the look of the Raptor, but some people don't. If you want to know more about the Raptor and applying it, I suggest you check out the video, which I'm going to link here, to Raptor's garage, where he Raptors a Shogun truck. He does everything from prep to masking to mixing, and he goes through it step by step and explains everything a lot better than I do. If you want to know more about sealing up your plastics and the water ingress, and there's also drain holes in your sills that you need to make sure are clear to get any water out, I suggest you check out this video here, which is by Blackrock Outfitters. He does a brilliant video on sealing up your plastics, making sure you're not getting any water ingress into your van. To round it off, it has took us longer than we thought to paint the van. We come across a lot more rust than we thought we had. Things just took longer than we expected. So between me and Colin, who was working with me, we spent about 90 hours on the van this week. That's from bringing the van over, prep, clean, spray, and then reassembly of the van. I want to give a massive thanks and a shout out to Colin Edwards for giving me a hand this week. He's been an absolute star. It wouldn't have got done without him. There was no way I would have been able to do that on my own. It would have took too long. I only had 5 days to do this. That's why we didn't spray the full van in the white. Next winter we're going to pull the van in again, take the roof rack off before we pull it in, and the rest of the van's going to be sprayed in the white Raptor. The sides of the van, the tops of the doors, the door jambs and the roof is all going to be white Raptor. As I said, if you want to buy any of the products we've used today, they will all be links in the description below. If you enjoy our videos, if they help you out in any way, please like, comment, subscribe and ring the little bell for notifications. We really appreciate you watching our videos. We haven't monetized our channel. This is just to help other people out and keeps a video diary of what we're doing with the van. And eventually it'll be the day-to-day adventures of what we do with our van. So if you could give us a subscribe, a like, a rate. I don't know if does YouTube still do rate?
I think you can thumb up or thumb down it, can't you?
Yeah, there used to be a rate function on YouTube. I don't think there is anymore. But ring that little bell, you'll get a notification every time we post. We're going to try and post a video a week. Whether that happens is another matter. I work full time myself and I've got a company. Chantel works full time. We're doing this van as and when we can. So we're going to end it there, and thanks for watching.